Hi, I'm Kristin Omdahl, and welcome back to another full chapter reading of the Sea Glass Journal. In today's episode, we're going to be reading chapter 12. Let's get started. Chapter 12. By the time I pulled into the crushed shell driveway, the sky was soft with color, rosy at the edges, streaked with gold. The sun was beginning to descend behind the mangroves, palms, and pines, casting the canal in a wash of amber light. It had been a long day, a strange one, but I was here, really here. Bjorn had ridden quietly in his carrier the whole drive, and I'd murmured reassurances to him at every stoplight. Now I carried him carefully inside the cottage, unlocking the front door with the same key I'd turned just yesterday. I held the door open with one foot, the bag of our essentials slung over my shoulder. Once inside, I set his carrier down gently and opened the door. "We made it, sweet baby Bjorn," I whispered. "Hi, Pumpkin. You want to come sit with me?" He stepped out slowly, sniffing the air with cautious interest. I prioritized setting up his litter box and food station in the laundry room. It felt good to know he had his space, his safe space. Yeah, you. I left our bag by the door and walked slowly through the house, past the crowded, dust-covered furniture, past the still-shuttered windows, and out the back door. The back porch facing the canal was screened in, a quiet relief for both Bjorn and me. I left the door ajar, inviting him to join me as I took in the view and felt my skin glowing in the honeyed light of early evening. It was quiet except for the breeze rustling the palms and the gentle slap of water against the dock below. Without a word, I grabbed the nearest two pieces of deck furniture from the overfilled living room, an old wicker love seat and a weathered end table, and dragged them out onto the porch. The love seat creaked under its own weight as I set it down, but it held. I pulled off the dust cover and tossed it onto another covered piece of furniture inside. Bjorn padded out behind me, his tail curled high, nose twitching. He tested the screens with a paw, then settled near the door, watching birds skim across the water. I returned inside briefly to dig through the mess of tea bags I'd haphazardly packed and pulled out a rose vanilla blend. I filled the kettle, found the stove knobs, and got the flame going. The kitchen was still musty, but the warmth from the burner and the soft clink of the kettle gave it life again. I found a mug on the shelf, rinsed it out in the sink, and waited for the kettle to sing. By the time I brought the steaming mug out to the porch, the sky had deepened into lavender. I curled up on the love seat, pulled my knees under me, and watched the sunset reflect on the canal's glossy surface. Bjorn hopped up beside me, curled into a comma against my leg, and purred. I let the warmth of the tea seep into my hands, breathed in the citrus air, and exhaled everything I'd carried with me. The dust and clutter were still there. The room hadn't changed since yesterday, but something in me had. The tea was warm, the breeze soft, and Bjorn's steady breathing beside me grounded me in a way I hadn't felt in a long time. As the sun melted into the horizon, the porch glowed in soft golds and rose-colored shadows. I stayed there with Bjorn curled beside me, his body rising and falling with slow, steady breaths. The screened-in porch felt safe, suspended somewhere between land and sky, the canal quietly reflecting the final colors of the day. Eventually, the stars began to appear, one, then another, until the whole sky was dusted with light. The cicadas had quieted, replaced by the gentle splash of water and the occasional call of a night bird. It was peaceful in the kind of way that made me almost afraid to move, afraid I'd break the spell. But night was here, and we had to sleep. I carried Bjorn inside, his sleepy weight nestled against my chest. The house felt larger now, darker. I flicked on a lamp and headed down the hall, checking each lock on the way. The front door, the porch access, the window latches, all secure. I even slid the little brass chain into place on the main door. It clicked quietly, like a whisper. Safe. The larger bedroom faced the yard and canal, and I decided to make it ours, for now at least. I flipped on the overhead light. The bed was covered in a fitted dust cover like the rest of the furniture. I tugged it free and opened the nearby closet. A few thick, clear bags were stacked neatly inside, sealed and labeled. Sheets, queen, pillowcases, standard 4, blanket, cotton, summer weight. Whoever had packed them had cared, or expected to return. I carried the fresh set to the bed and shook out the fitted sheet, letting it snap once in the air before smoothing it over the mattress. I pulled it tight at the corners, loving the resistance of crisp cotton stretching into place. There's a particular satisfaction in a well-made bed. The clean lines, the sharp tuck, the promise of sliding into cool sheets that don't twist around your legs in the night. I folded the corners with care, not out of habit, but because I like things that hold. I like knowing the bed will feel solid beneath me, that when I slip under the covers, everything will be firm and deliberate and right. I fluffed the pillows, laid the cotton blanket smooth, and stepped back for a moment to take it in. It looked intentional. Bjorn padded in a minute later and leapt up beside me, circling twice before collapsing against my side. He purred instantly, loudly, his small body a familiar weight. I lay back against the crisp, tight sheets and let the quiet settle in. This wasn't just a visit, it was a decision. And decisions, I was learning, feel different in your body. Thanks for joining me for another full chapter reading of the Sea Glass Journal. If you are just getting started, please follow the link in the video description to start at chapter 1 and join me every Sunday evening for another full chapter reading. And if you can't wait and you want to read ahead, there's also a link to start reading the whole book in the description as well. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. We'll see you in the next video.